Da, 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 da. Happy birthday, Connor.
Thank you. Belated, but yes, thank you very much.
How was your birthday?
My birthday was great. Welcome to the Full Tank Podcast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Episode 8, not week 8. We did have a
No.
little short break in there. I got loaded down with school, and I'm going in my last week next week, so I need to finish
Very nice.
out everything strong.
And I was
But we're
perfectly
back.
okay with it because last Tuesday I got my wisdom teeth out, so
How is that?
like they still hurt a little bit. It honestly wasn't that bad,
It's not
but
that bad.
it wasn't that bad. It was only
You get
really
to
much on the first day, but it's all
you
good
get to,
now.
you get to do drugs and eat perks or eat ice cream for a few days. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I popped a pill before I started recording.
hell yeah. Well, 2 weeks of Overwatch that we haven't talked about. Stage 2 began. We finally get to see some meta change. Oh my god.
Not true, but
I mean, I'm watching a rerun right now that's all goats, but we did get to see some diversity finally.
yes. There's so much to talk about. Like, because week 1 we want to talk about all the different roster changes, and there
For
was
sure.
I have at least 9 right on this list, and there's more than that than I think that I
I think
caught
so.
because I know Gladiators played a new Zenyatta player named Ripa, and he was doing well in the last map
Yeah.
yesterday. But
I'm watching Janu's first appearance on Titans right now because Janu
Yeah.
got switched over. We had.
no, Johnny was on Titans. He was their diva.
Oh, I'm thinking of who am I thinking of that just got traded with a
Note.
J? No, that's right. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
anyway,
against
let's
starts with the J. Yeah,
get right into some trades. We had the big
yeah.
one.
The biggest one that makes me so happy. You have no idea how happy it makes me. I actually do. It is RCK gets traded to the Boston Uprising and Dallas gets note from them.
Okay, but I'm kind of gonna miss bitching about RCK as much.
I'm not
But-
because I think Note is so much better than RCK.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like,
And
like
this week in their opening match, Dallas Fuel had 2 matches this week, which we won both.
yes,
Hell yeah. But
Dallas,
he looked really good.
Dallas is currently 6th in stage 2 because we're
Nice.
2-0. Granted, that's probably going to fall a bit because we're playing Vancouver on Friday this week, but
Right. But I mean,
and
we
we're also
we
playing
did
Seoul. But
we did a 2-1 against Paris, which kind of fucked with our differential a little bit because we lost that tie. And we
that's
had
a bit more. It's a bit more misleading because we were by far the better team for the first
For
3
sure.
maps.
For sure.
And just Paris is a dumb map because I think literally every single game played on Paris for at least 2 days straight.
Was goats, wasn't it?
Well, of course they played goats, but I mean for
course.
Paris, I'm talking about the map Paris, not the team.
Oh.
That was the assault game for
Oh my god!
I think for
I
the
gotta.
past 2 days. It was awful.
Yeah.
Map is awful, but we gotta say more bunker. But no, RCK gets traded for Note. I absolutely love this because I don't like RCK. I think
Yeah, I
Note is
like
one of the best
Note.
divas in the league. He was
For
the one
sure.
last year who always got all the news about like, oh, Note's getting all these huge diva bombs. He was the one who was known for that. And now we got him on our team.
And
He's got that experience.
He
Mhm.
did well this first week
Yeah.
that we played.
He did well.
For
What I just loved about him that was amazing with Dallas in particular
Yeah.
is that typically you want right now in the meta, if you want to play Sombra, you have your diva player play Sombra. That's what RCK
Right.
was doing. He eventually just ended up playing Sombra for Dallas. But what ended up happening for us, we traded him, got Note. Note played Zarya because who would have thought off-tank players know how to play all the off-tanks. Note played Zarya, and then ACAM played Sombra, who, by the way, he's a DPS player. He's actually good on DPS.
AKM is a fantastic Sombra. I mean, that's one of the things he's known for besides Soldier is his Sombra. He's insanely good.
And then we 4-0 Toronto. Granted, Toronto's pretty bad right now. But,
Right, but a 4-0 is a 4-0 map
and
differential.
then we dominated
Hell
Paris.
yeah. Hell yeah.
So I'm all for this. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to talk about in week 1. Week 1 happened, Boston Uprising got 2 reverse sweeps in a row.
Whew. They don't miss Note. They're fine. They're like, fuck it. We'll just reverse sweep people.
Yeah, they can only win in Game 5, except this past
Game
week
5.
where they lost in Game 5.
Oof.
Ooh,
Oof.
you're right, Boston. You lost to Spark.
lost the spark.
Come on.
I mean, come on.
Next one, Baby moves to the Atlanta Reign, previously of the San Francisco Shock.
Good trade. Atlanta needed it, especially after their DeFran loss. They needed a new DPS.
The one that I loved, the stat that I saw was it was before Baby started playing. It was 293 days since Baby played on stage.
Holy shit.
And so they were playing against Boston, and he was like teabagging everyone after
of
like
course.
they would win a team fight. It was just great to see him back. I think he's still getting moved in between the starting roster and off it, but he's back, and it's good to see him in.
He'll find his new place in the new team. I mean, Atlanta obviously needed somebody to fill the hole of DeFran, but
they have a lot of holes they need to fill now.
Did they lose somebody else?
No, they're just bad.
They're just bad, yeah.
Atlanta did also sign Gladiators Legion tank player FRD, who was a D.Va player. I think he was playing a bit this week, actually.
I don't remember anything from him, so I can't speak too much on him.
Yeah, because I think there's something wrong with Daco, and he hasn't been playing, so FRD was in.
I heard that. I think he's fine. Like, he'll be back, but I think he had to miss, like, 2 or 3 games. But
yeah, it was weird. It was really awkward not seeing him play.
Yeah. Next, we got Astro signed over to Atlanta.
Funny Astro, great streamer, Lucio, One Trick, I think he's assigned on as a streamer, actually, because he's not actually on their roster right now.
Oh, so he's going to be just on their payroll.
That's they're just streaming. Well,
nice.
Good for them. Boston Uprising signs I believe it's a Zenyatta player named Persia. I don't believe he played this week.
Yeah,
I think he's just there for depth. They're Boston Uprising. It's okay. We don't need to care about them. Paris Eternal fired their head coach and replaced it with Fefe.
Shocking to no one that they fired their head coach because they really needed to.
And they look better now. I think Dallas actually signed one of their assistant coaches to their squad.
We did. We just got a recent coach change, but it was just a side thing. It wasn't a main coaching change. Is
that coach the former coach of Rogue that 8cam and Unco previously played with?
I think that's right. I remember seeing that on Twitter, and that's why they were kind of leaning towards that, was because they wanted that.
Because that'd be my
familiarity. Right.
And that's just helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
What else do we have on the list? Stellar signed DPS for the Toronto Defiant. No, Stellar DPS for Defiant announced his retirement. He was known as a Widow player, Brigida player.
That's right, yeah. So we had that retirement. We had another retirement, which is sadder. We'll talk about that one at the end. But a lot
of retires. He just didn't like the stage. And to make up for it, Toronto signed DPS player IM37.
I watched a little bit of him just before we started. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's solid. The one clip that was really getting thrown around was his game interview. I believe it was after the first game against Boston Uprising, or might have been the second game. I don't know. It was week 1.
Yeah.
And the translator is just talking to him in English, and then he switches over to Korean, and then IM37 grabs the mic, and he starts responding in English. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever watched.
It was good. Yeah,
then somebody edited over that. The music from Rick and Morty of the Evil Morty music. Right over him. And it was so great. Yeah, best Ep8 ever. And he's
big old Ep8.
He's fitting into the league like right away. He was big in North American contenders, and I guess everybody likes him. He's going to be a great member of the community, and if he keeps acting like that, he's an early contender for whatever that sportsmanship award Mickey won last year.
Right. We need more people that have a little more showmanship within all this. You know, we need some personality in the league for sure. Especially while we're still missing Mickey.
Yes. Signed for Toronto Defiant. I'm all for that. Good for him.
Yeah, for
sure. And then the big one that makes us all sad is Dallas Fuel DPS player Effect. Tracer, amazing Tracer, one of the best players to ever play, has announced his retirement.
Which this is bittersweet for me because I am happy for him because he's been dealing with a lot of depression around Overwatch League and a lot of stress with this. So I'm glad that he's going to be able to just kind of step back. Hopefully, I still want to see Effect because I watch his streams. I want to see him do stuff. But I'm glad that he's going to be out of the stress of Overwatch League, you know?
because he dealt with it last year, and he didn't like it as much this year. He's just not he's a more quiet person, and I wish him the best.
For sure. It's sad to see him go, but happy that he's not completely, absolutely just destroyed.
Yes.
Burnt out from this.
And now Dallas doesn't have 4 DPS on their roster anymore.
Right.
We're still not going to see Taibu.
No, Mickey. God, no.
By the way, they still have effect listed on Dallas' roster.
Oh, sad.
Did we see Taibu or Mickey?
No, we did not.
Okay, you sounded excited for a second. I was confused.
No, we did see Zachary finally playing something besides Brigitte, though.
Zachary got to play some Troy, and he's so much happier on Twitter, and I'm like, shut up, you Brigitte one trick.
You get back on Brigitte. You know your place, Zachary. I saw even his mother tweeted, because I don't know why his mother is so active on Twitter, but his mother posted something about how her son finally didn't have to play Brig. And I was like, oh, wow.
Can the Mickey Award for sportsmanship just go to Zachary's mom?
I'm fine with it. I'll vote for her.
Like, did he even play Tracer? I have no idea. Yeah.
Who did he play? He played some Sombra at one point, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at his most played, and it's by far Brigitte. He has some Baptiste on, which I'm actually happy for him, that Baptiste is in the league, because, for the record, we're still seeing a ton of goats being played.
Of course.
And Baptiste can make it better, especially on the defensive end, because who would have thought in a meta that's all about grouping up together and swinging hammers at each other, an ability that says, hey, you're not dying in this grouped up area is good. Like, I completely did, like, it was like a sine wave of just, like, what I thought the meta was going to be. I thought, like, Baptiste is broken, he's going to facilitate goats and just make him so good, and he's going to be better in other comps, but goats is still going to be amazing. So then I was toned down. I'm like, okay, it probably won't be as good in goats.
Snap back to reality.
And then, nope, goats.
It's goats. It's just goats. I mean,
I'm happy for him because Baptiste is being played in the Brigitte role. Especially if you don't want to play Brigitte, you can go for those extra heals, that extra survivability with Baptiste. And he's more fun to play for the DPS players forced to play Brigitte. So
for sure. We did see some good Baptiste Farah comps where you did Baptiste ult and then you barraged through it, which was very cool to see. And
those don't actually have like any synergy with each other, because if you're playing Baptiste, you're going to be hard pressed to try and heal Farah, kind of like Moira. Right. But
well, I mean, what you do is you drop Invulnerability Field where you're planning on having the Sombra ult, and she's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But we did see some other interesting, I mean, not interesting, we've already seen a lot of these comps. We saw the double Sniper comp come back. We saw some Hanzo Widow come back these past 2 weeks for sure.
Note was on Hanzo. It was great.
Note was on Hanzo. I do like seeing that. That was good. We got to see a few Bunker comps.
Bunker is back. It's back. It's great.
It's back. And it's going to do well. It's going to be a good defensive comp, obviously. It's going to be... Do we have Horizon in this rotation for Stage 2?
I don't believe so.
Because that was one of the maps that I really wanted to see with Bunker. No. And I think you're right. I think they did rotate it out, which sucks.
It's really interesting because, I mean, the first week of Stage 1, everybody was throwing all these random comps again, like, to see what sticks. Right. And it was so much fun to watch. And then it settled into week 2, and most people were playing goats.
Yeah, and I figured that we were going to... I mean, it is a lot of... I did see a lot mostly on Control Point. Yeah. Because it's just so... I mean, there's no defending, really. I mean, you're just bashing into each other, see what sticks. Obviously that you're going to get more diversity on, you know, payload maps and things like that. I'm even watching the Titans are about to attack with Bumper on Reaper and Haskell on Baptiste, and of course they instantly switch off, but we get to see a few different things like that, at least on payload maps, and, well, not really 2CP, because 2CP has mostly devolved back into goats as well.
That being said, we did see a lot more DPS being played. Even last week, we saw more DPS heavy comps, Bastion comps, even like solo Winston DPS comps. It was really interesting. Winston's really good right now, in particular, because more squishies are back. The one play in particular was, I believe it was Toronto Defiance Erster, or no, it was Atlanta Reigns Erster in the one of the games yesterday on Sunday, He got a 6K Tracer Pulse Bomb.
I saw that one.
That was
That one was
filthy.
good.
On attack Ike involved, and he immediately went back to spawn and switched to Brigitte for the payload phase.
That's just the cycle. I mean, you get a 6K and then you switch to Brigitte. You've done your job. Now you get back to being trash.
I've never felt harder for Zachary in my entire life than that play.
So, I mean, we always complain about these metas, but I mean, do you see kind of like a fix kind of within Overwatch League coming? Because I've kind of been thinking, do we need to introduce a hero ban into League or anything like that to kind of switch this up?
Hero bans next week, not now, because I heard about them. I actually had a conversation with my friend about it the other day, and it's really interesting, but I'd like to do more research on this and have more thoughts to think about this.
I kind of think that with each team being able to propose even just a one person, I mean, I could even see them doing something. Just to briefly touch on this, we'll go into more about this next week, but I would like to see them do something with some sort of hero ban. Yeah, maybe a role ban, not a role ban, but I don't know. We'll figure that out next week. No supports. We're just gonna take out supports from the game, delete Brig, and then we'll be back.
If you want one solution, it'd probably be to introduce more main tanks that have completely different styles of gameplay. Because Wrecking Ball was a great addition to the game because of how different he made the comms feel. Sure. And like your main tanks are the main central point of your team. You need to focus around what makes your main tanks good. And you need to facilitate what they do. That's why like Ryan is great with goats. Orisa is great with bunker. Wrecking Ball is great with these DPS comps. You need to introduce some tanks that actually facilitate different play styles so that we have something to play that's not goats. And even make it good. Who knows?
So what you're telling me is take Reinhardt and Brigitte out of the game.
No, I mean, no. The key is to make Reinhardt's shield just nerf down to 1,000.
Just make it garbage.
And introduce like a 1 or 2 second cooldown on Lucio's auras switch.
Oh, that'd be nice. Oh, that'd be so nice.
He'd be so unfun to play, though.
He really would be. I mean, they don't. There's a way of deleting characters without deleting them, you know.
Like they tried doing these soft nerfs to goats every so often.
They need to keep
buffed everyone else, but no. They at this point, if they want something else being played, they need to go hard.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing more. I really enjoy watching the Hanzo Widow comps actually because I mean, at least we get a point of view to watch that has a high vantage point. I guess you're getting more information from watching Sniper. I think, and
it's more fun to watch as people poking heads. Like specifically, I loved watching Sunday's Washington Justice game, and Corey was just popping off on Busan as Widowmaker. That was great.
Nice. There's never not an exciting Widow pop off, you know.
No. Yeah.
It's always fun to watch.
I mean, the best play of all time, the Los Angeles merry-go-round last year in the playoffs. It was so much fun.
So much fun.
That being said, we have seen a lot more DPS play this past week. Like on Hanamura, Chengdu Hunters played Symmetra to great effect on both points, like both sides of it.
Did not see that.
I need to watch that match because that was so much fun. Everybody was going off on how great that was.
People want to see these crazy things, obviously. I know you can't like tell the players like, hey, don't play goats because we want to bump up our ratings, but just start playing some crazier shit.
And like we did see those different comps. Like Bunker was played so much more. And I'm so happy about that.
For sure, yeah.
Like we saw a lot of Bastion being played, Orisa, Baptiste makes it better. Even a ton of Junkrat, which I was actually more surprised about. I thought it'd be more Widowmaker. Junkrat even on offense too. It was great.
Well, I mean, Junkrat just works so well with Bastion because as soon as somebody gets in close to try and kill the Bastion, you have a Junkrat on you. You know, I always like to see more Junkrats. I always like to see more Pharahs actually too. We got to see a good amount of Pharah this week. Well, not a good amount, but we started to see more Pharah.
Yeah.
We started to see the Mercy comps come back. I'm seeing Reses again, which is weird to see. You know, we're moving in the right direction. You know, we're not there yet.
It was so much better. Baptiste makes these different bunker comps better. It was fun to watch. And that's good for the survivability of the game. It made it so much better.
Any highlight games over the past 2 weeks
I
you
mean,
want to talk about?
Dallas
Oh,
got a 4-0.
Dallas got a 4-0.
It was
And it
amazing.
was a good 4-0. I mean, we
Good
just rolled over 'em.
4-0.
We just rolled all over them. Honestly,
They even played Doomfist the past couple weeks.
Yeah, we're seeing Doomfist again in the meta or in League. That's weird.
Beautiful.
Honestly,
there was one note from the casters were making fun of Zachary during a San Francisco game in week 1.
Yeah.
They said no, it was during one of those breaks where they're talking about like what the different terms mean, and they had Zachary talk about what does it mean to be one shot.
Oh, okay.
Like if you get focused down, you're gonna die. Whatever. Like you're really easy to kill. This is how you want to focus them down because they'll be gone and you'll be winning then. The caster said that Zachary doesn't know what being one shot is because he's a Brigitte player who doesn't use guns.
Oof. Hey, look, you can kind of one shot a Tracer.
You can't even do that anymore as Brigitte because they got rid of
they
the thing
nerfed her.
Good at.
You can't do the combo anymore. Oh my god, what a garbage character.
Well, to be fair, they wanted to do that, and I'm okay with it now because Goat's fun to watch. But
yeah, for sure.
Man. But Bunker's back. We're seeing it a lot more. Like that's pretty much the standard comp on like defensive, like the first point defense on 2 CP, or even like hybrid. We're seeing a lot of Bunker, and I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
Because that means either you risk playing Goats on the offense to try and get through that, or you play something to break through it, more DPSs on the other end, see Hanzo against that. You're going to get more DPS on 2CP. And honestly, that's genius.
Well, I mean,
because they make 2CP better to watch.
Yeah, finally. Jesus. Well, I mean, the best way to break up Bunker
immediately switch off on second point, but...
Of course. I mean, but the best way to break up Bunker is Sombra Hanzo, for sure.
Yeah.
Break
through the shield.
Peg shield, you hack down either the Bastion or the Orisa. I mean, I usually prefer to hack the Orisa. The Bastion will get burst down if the shield goes down.
Bastion will get burst down.
But
we saw a lot of offensive symmetry even trying to counter that. It was great.
Right. It's just, come on, give me some more Symmetra. Give me more Torb. Give me more Torb and Symmetra.
Defren's not in the league anymore, so we don't get to see Torbjorn on well. That being said, we did actually see Torbjorn, I think, this week. Chengdu was playing him.
Oh, Chengdu played Torb? Thank
God.
I'm
pretty sure. Man, I'm so happy for Chengdu. I didn't like them because they were just, I was hating on them because it's not fun to watch because they do the same exact cheese every single game. Right. But now they're getting better at it, and they're switching things up, and it's much more fun for them.
Well, they did lose to Dragons this week, but
didn't they get 4-0'd by Dragons?
Yeah. No, they got it was 3-1, I think, against Dragons.
Okay, yeah,
but still. And then who they faced first week? They fought.
They 4-0'd Paris.
They beat Washington,
and they beat Washington, right?
Yeah.
They're currently right now in the playoff hunt. They're at number 7 right now in stage playoffs.
Well, there you go. I guess I would like to see them in playoffs. I guess
it'd be more fun to watch. It'd be great
for sure. Any highlight games from last week besides Fuel?
2 weeks? This past week during the battle for LA, which was the Los Angeles Gladiators winning 2-1 against the Los Angeles Valiant. You got to see more fun comps. There was a lot of teabagging, a lot of fun rivalry against them.
Good.
Surefour came in with Decay and Shadowburn at the same time, and he played May. I believe it was Hanamura, and it was awesome.
The May pick is good though. I still think that the May pick is one of the best off picks that you can go with.
Oh yeah, May can be great in certain situations.
For sure.
Surefour is one of the best at it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love seeing Surefour.
Without a doubt. My favorite thing on one of the YouTube channel Sir Swag's videos from this past week. I think it was on Overwatch. Or it was his Baptiste video. It was his Baptiste video, and he pulled a clip from Surefour just talking about, it was him talking about what it takes to be a good player. To be Grandmaster, you need to be good at either positioning, mechanics, or game sense, something like that. You need to be good at one of those. Right. To be top 500, you need 2, and to be a pro, you need to be 3. And he quoted Surefour as a washed-up Widow player.
Oof. Oof.
It was great. It was hilarious. Now he's an on the bench Sombra player, but it's okay.
Oh, goddamn.
His fourth most played hero right now is May, but that's probably from Hanamura. But
right. We did get actually to see a few not new players, but we got to see some players that haven't been playing too much recently. We got to see Flower finally came back out.
Flower started for the New York Excel during one of the games, I think.
Flower is on Seoul, isn't
he? No, New York Excel.
What?
Yeah. It was like
sure we hadn't seen Flower yet.
No, it was like Mono. I think Mecha wasn't the one playing. It was Mono, Animo, Libero, Nene, Flower, and Jonak.
Huh.
And Flower just played a ton, which means they didn't play Mecha, which means they were playing a lot of Sombra goats instead.
Right.
But he mostly played on Brigitte and Baptiste, who we got to see him on his great character like Genji, Pharah, Widowmaker, and 7 Seconds of Doomfist.
7 whole Seconds of Doomfist. That's my new punk band name, 7 Seconds of Doomfist.
It was great seeing him, and he was good. He was really good.
People that don't know about Overwatch will be concerned with that band name.
Yes. 7 Seconds of Doomfist.
Overall, I'm happy with what we're seeing for the most part.
Give it another week to see if it's more goats.
Give it another week. I mean, we're gonna get some more. I mean, we'll probably get some patches coming up again. We're coming on the kind of rotation where we're going to get, we're going to talk more about event coming up, but we're going to have event coming up, hopefully some more patches in between that and next event, and then, how the usual Overwatch life cycle goes right now. Hopefully by stage 3, we might have some patches in. I think a few patches might have gone live recently.
I don't think I've seen anything about that, but
the last one that we had was the one that we saw live, I think, were the last patches.
Yeah, we still have the Junkrat arc changes on PTR.
Yeah, so
those are not hit live.
That will go through. We'll get the kind of stuff going through with event coming up tomorrow, and then we're gonna hopefully get some more patch changes after event rolls through and is done with.
Let's talk about the event real quick before we finish up talking about Overwatch League.
For sure.
Because I still want to talk about what the current standings in Overwatch League and Week 3 PUT.
Yeah.
So we have a new event coming up.
Storyline.
Not new event, just new story mode.
I always like the story stuff.
Archives is the best event because Overwatch story mode would be great, but we only get it once a year.
We get it once a year.
And it's not on rotation for any of the maps.
Right.
Any of the weekly arcades. It's awful. But
yeah. I think we need a spot of this game to just be dedicated to past events, at least the story ones. I think we need to do away with the taking this stuff out permanently. Let people go just mess around with it in, custom events or something. Yeah. Let people have their fun. Let people mess around on these event things that you can't possibly earn skins for, just remove the ability to get skins. Well, anyway, the new event is called Storm Rising. It's going to be going over Tracer, Winston, Genji, and Mercy, tracking down, I can't remember that main Omnic dude's name.
I believe.
Maximilian. They're going after him. They're trying to fight him again.
In Havana, Cuba.
I'm excited for this one because I think that's a cool map. I think it's going to be a cool map.
Is it going to be hybrid or payload?
Well, they kind of do these similar. I mean, it's not going to be a permanent map. They're just going to have this kind of event map.
It will be. It definitely will be. That's what Rialto was last year.
No, Rialto was
Archives last year.
But they had it in a completely different area.
No.
I'm sure that they had a completely.
Because what was the Archives event called last year? They had Uprising.
Oh God.
They had the
Uprising.
It was the Blackwatch mission. Don't remember what it was, but that event last year was Moira, Genji, I think, McCree, and Reaper doing their Blackwatch strike mission, and they were on Rialto, the exact same, only thrown a knight going from the third point through the attacker's original spawn.
But no, because
it was the exact same map.
The ending of last year's event was in a completely different area.
Yeah, they added that out. The attacker's spawn on Rialto is the second to last area in
You're
that
right.
event.
Oh,
You
so
just
this
go
is
from the way back to the front.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, new map coming up right after Paris, but sure. Why not?
It'll be like, well, they did that last year because Rialto came fairly recently after, I believe it was, Blizzard World.
That's right. Yeah, Blizzard
Granted,
World was
Blizzard World was like November, but
yeah, but they kind of wanted to do something for, what's it called BlizzCon. They wanted to have, the big BlizzCon event. They wanted to show off Blizzard World at BlizzCon, and then Archives is usually right after, or pretty shortly after that. So,
and I'm all for having a new map that's not Paris.
Yeah, me too. So hopefully this one will also be a payload map like Rialto. I think it will be cool. I mean, I think Cuba is a very good locale for a map, for sure.
Yeah. And we're seeing the skins based off. The epic skins are all based on, like, a carnival in the area.
Oh, boy.
Let me different events, because you have Clown Junkrat is one of the epics that looks like it. You have, like, a race car driver Zarya skin that looks like it is one of the epics. And a high roller gambler Wrecking Ball skin.
I'm gonna go through the skins really quick and figure out which one I like the best. Do you have one that you like the best?
Oh, it's Wrecking Ball's epic skin where he has sunglasses.
Oh shit! Hold on, let me. I'm going back through the Twitter right now. I like the I don't like the soldier skin. I think that looks too posh for him. I want him to be dirty. Damn it!
No, he
looks too posh.
He is a cleanly well-dressed game man, and
I am not finding this Hammond skin.
It was announced on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. But of the ones that they have on the
official legendary skins, we have a socialite Ash, where she's dressed all fancy and the like, based on her time as a rich girl, and they have Bob looking pretty dapper. He's not as dapper as he could have. He's not the complete butler Bob, but he's still pretty dapper. Like you said, we have the formal wear soldier skin, which is pretty cool. He's in like an army well-dressed suit with all his accolades on it. Hat.
He looks like the Joker when the Joker killed Commissioner Gordon at that parade, except he didn't kill Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. They have a new Bastion skin, Wishin Bastion, based off the robot Omnix that were trying to attack Busan that Diva killed in the short, which makes this the second evil-looking Bastion skin for Uprising, or for Archives, in a row. He looks extremely similar to the Strike Recon Stealth one from last year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get the Hammond skin. He's got sunglasses.
Yeah, you saw it? It's so cool.
It's so
cool. This high roller. He looks like a bank vault. His mech looks like a bank vault. And he's in sunglasses. Amazing. And then there's Deadlock McCree from his time in the Deadlock gang, or the John Marston McCree, if you will.
Oh, yeah. The howdy, mister.
It's so John Marston. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing.
I'm probably going to get that one and the Hammond skin for sure.
There is a scientist Moira is a legendary. She's in a lab coat. She doesn't have that long of gauntlets, like the sleeves. It doesn't look that good. But
it's kind of a boring legendary. I mean, it's kind of like the Santa Claus May skin, you know.
As a Moira player, it's kind of boring. But I think you see more of her gold gun, so that's better. But I think it's pretty weak for a character that already doesn't have that many skins, or good skins for that matter.
Do you announce yourself in social situations by saying "as a Moira player"?
Yes. And then there is, of course, the Talon Baptiste skin from his time in Talon.
Yeah.
That honestly should have been his default one, but it's not his default one because they knew they could make it an archive skin.
I'm surprised that we didn't see Baptiste in this event. He might be in it somehow, like.
Because they talked about it from a Talon, because like they originally said it was like they were worried about Talon, they're interfering with Talon. That'd be cool because we'd have an Overwatch Archives event, we would have a Blackwatch Archives event, we could have a Talon Archives event. People were hyped to be like, we could have Baptiste, we could have Doomfist, we could have Reaper, we could have Somber, Widowmaker. It'd be so cool. And then we get another
Play as the mascots of this game
Plays
again.
the mascot, the real good guys, standard good guys that literally everybody knows are the foremost generic characters from the game. And I was annoyed because they released the official trailer for the event today with all their animations, and it looks like they don't even have different skins. Like,
no, they put them in just the normal skins for the trailer at least. They announced all the skins that they used for Uprising, or not Uprising, the Blackwatch event last year.
I'd have to check. But like,
but they put them all.
Default Winston, default everything.
But I liked what they did last year because they, in the normal event, like the actual event, they gave you all the skins, even though you weren't, you didn't get to keep the skins. You got to use the skins in the event.
And they did that this year before with Cadet Oxen Tracer, with Torbjorn, with Mercy, and Reinhardt.
And this one, it's just kind of like, oh, here's an event.
Mm-hmm. That being said, for the time that this takes place, it's more recent in the Overwatch lore.
Right.
So it would make sense that Tracer is still... Because, like, this is after Reinhardt's horrible failure in whatever event it was, and he was forced into retirement. So, like, lore-wise, it makes sense, but I'd rather not play as... Like, because you get Mercy, you get Mercy, and you get Winston. So literally, if you play this, 2 of the 4 people that are playing this game with you are not going to have a good time.
Yeah, the Tracer and the Genji are just never going to get healing.
Like, they're going to be insta-locked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess I can use this mode to practice Winston more, but...
Yes. You can poke everyone down for 30 minutes in a giant horde of people, and then you can... The
trailer showed Tracer riding around on a motorcycle chasing a car, and I'm like, they're completely acknowledging it's more fun to be Tracer than it is to be Mercy and Winston.
They show Genji fucking chopping a car in half, and they're like, yeah, here's Mercy flying across the screen. Cool.
Catechist staff, you're all better now.
Oh boy. Exciting stuff.
There's a lot of hype coming in, and I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I of course will play it and get my 2 loot boxes out of the event, and then
the annoying part for this as a Diva player is that they released the Bastion skin based on the Busan attacks. That looks extremely similar to another Bastion skin also released for Archives. But they couldn't give us Diva's shooting star skin where she's in her jacket, and I think it's like a metal looking that's silver. Like, that'd be good as a legendary. Like, if Moira's is a legendary, that could be a legendary, or at least an
for sure.
That'd be great.
For sure.
I'd use that. But now you can't.
Well, what can you do?
Speaking of which, I finally got Diva's Dallas Fuel skin.
Nice. That's one of the best Dallas Fuel skins.
I'm almost at a new skin. I'm at like 80 coins. And
I probably
have no idea what to get. I have no idea what to get.
I probably have one on PC right now, just because it's been so long since I played on PC.
Like, I'm so annoyed because my friend has gotten 300 coin drops at the end of a game this year.
Oh, like 3 separate 100 coin drops?
Yeah, I've gotten none, and I've watched more than him this year and last year.
I didn't know that they did 100 coin drops.
Yeah, it's randomly after. At a certain subsection, I think it's 2 times the square root of the viewers to get 100 coin drop. They released the equation for it.
Wow.
And
they released the equation for it.
They only come in if you as soon as the last map ends for a game, as soon as the end of a map 4 or 5 ends, then they get pulled. And I haven't gotten it. My friend's gotten 3, and I'm so upset because I've watched more than him.
That bitch.
But I have 6 skins. I have Diva now, Roadhog, Orisa, Reinhardt, Wrecking Ball, and Bastion.
What am I at right now?
And I have no idea what my other one should be, because that's basically all the characters I play. I'm like, I'd probably say Moira, but I don't like Moira that well.
No, I don't either.
Moira has a new legendary coming out that I'll probably be using.
How's the away skin for Moira? For fuel.
It's not as good. See, I don't like Dallas's away skins because a lot of the time they use that bright blue as opposed to the dark blue.
Right.
And the dark blue looks so good on the white. Like, I'm considering Pharah's just so because her away skin looks great. Like, Pharah's and Genji's away skins are so good.
Yeah.
But you don't get that with a lot of them.
What about Hammonds? Do you have Hammonds?
I do have Hammonds. Yeah.
Okay.
I already got it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the better fuel skins. Is
There's
Hammonds.
there's a lot of good DPS ones for the home
For
skins.
sure.
And they look great, but I don't play DPS.
Right.
Like I was thinking Brigitte, but like Brigitte might not be in the game in another month.
Yeah, that's your Zachary. That's your Zachary jersey.
Zachary jersey. I was thinking that maybe Tracer because for a fact.
Right.
But
pour some out.
I also like Soldiers. How good Soldiers looks.
Yeah, get your AKM skin.
My AKM skin, my Zarya skin. Yes.
Yeah, but for next week, do you have any games that you're looking forward to next week?
Let's talk about next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week, day one, we have New York Excel versus Philly Fusion. Gonna be a great game.
That'll be a very good game. Absolutely.
I'll probably have New York Excel over that because Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They're okay right now, but
oh yeah, let's do our rankings for this week.
Philly is currently ranked 10. They have a 2-2 record, a -1 map differential. After I'm pulling up their games, they lost to London Spitfire 2-1, which is a great game.
Yeah.
They beat Toronto 3-1. They will beat Florida 3-1 as well, and then they lost to Philly, New York again. Actually, 0-4. Wait, so they're playing New York again in stage. They already played them.
Oof, that sucks for them.
Yeah, they're going to get a fat loss. Yeah, they were the first game in state. They were the first game in week 1, an 0-4 loss, and they're playing them again first game this week.
So yeah, I think it's safe to say that we're both going to go with New York Excel for this one.
We'll probably get another fat 4-0. San Francisco Shock versus Toronto Defiant. San Francisco Shock right now. Let's actually go over to the stage rankings right now for stage 2 because San Francisco Shock is currently ranked 3rd. They're 3-0 and have not dropped a game so far.
In stage 2?
Yeah, perfect 12-0 record. Plus 12 map differential.
They're looking solid in stage 2 for sure.
To be fair, so is Newark Excel at a plus 15 map differential 4-0, 15-0-1. They tied 1 map and that's it.
God damn. The top 3 are looking strong right now.
Los Angeles Gladiators also
and Shock
4-0. Gladiators also look amazing out of the gate. They beat Seoul in a 3-2 in week 1.
I always love watching Gladiators. I think they're one of the
really strong team.
Yeah, they're just always really solid. You know,
they got their acts together, and they're They look so much better now. Like, because they were a bit of a disappointment in the last stage. Like, I was disappointed. Then they kept losing, and I was high on them. But yeah, I'm glad they're getting back. They beat Shanghai 3-1 week 1 as well. And then this week they 4-0'd Guangzhou Charge and 2-1 Los Angeles Fan. We'll get to Guangzhou because that makes me sad. But
so I think it's safe to say that we're both gonna pick Shock for this one.
Yeah, but I still want to talk about the actual rankings right now for stage 2. Yeah, Gladiators are 2 at a 4-0 record, 12-4-1. Vancouver's actually down at 4 at 3-0. They dropped a couple maps. They're 10-2 right now. So
they've only played 3 games though. So
yeah. London came back as in 5th, 3-0 right now, plus 6 differential. Dallas, Chengdu is good, 2-1. Boston 2-1. Both of those wins, all 3 of their games were game 5s.
Yeah.
Their 2 wins were reverse sweeps. So
there
I
you
expect
go.
that to fall down a bit.
For sure.
Yeah, Paris looks good. Yeah.
Their numbers are boosted up right now.
Paris looks good coming in 2-2. Then Philly 2-2. And it's kind of a wash between them. There's Hangzhou Spark at 11, 1-1. Houston Outlaws 0-1. Shanghai 1-2. Valiant at 1-2. They got their first win. Why don't we talk about that? They got their first win.
Wow.
Los Angeles Valiant in, I believe it wasn't week 1. It was week 2 on Friday evening. They beat the Atlanta Reign 3-2 in a game 5. And it was so great.
Shocking.
They were so happy. Atlanta's really bad right now, but
Atlanta's really bad. So it's kind of like, oh hey, you got the only win that you could have gotten.
Yeah. Seoul Dynasty is at 15 at 0-2. That'll probably change. Oof. Atlanta Reign just dropped hard. They're currently 1-3. They lost some bad games. They got 4-0 to the Spitfire. They got yeah, you hate to see it. They got reverse swept by the Boston Uprising. Game 5 by Valiant. They did win Washington Justice, but that was a harder game to watch for them.
Yeah.
It was pretty balanced. Washington Justice looked pretty solid throughout. That team doesn't have many bright spots. They call Washington Justice actually Corey and the Koreans because that is how their roster works.
That's it. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's no other way.
Not
and then bottom of the barrel, bottom
of the barrel. Toronto Defiant is also 1-3. They just fell off the face of the earth without Stellar on that team.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an impact he'd have, but he fell off hard.
It's gonna be rough for them to come back now. I mean, we'll see how they do, but
hopefully they can get their acts together
for a while.
They were good last stage. They didn't look. It seemed like last stage they were like squeaking out their wins somehow.
Yeah.
But Stellar's gone. IM37 is back, and I hope IM37 leads them to good things.
For sure.
Florida Mayhem coming in at 18, 0-4 still.
Oh boy.
-9 differential. They did get some maps against some teams. They got one map and a tie against London Spitfire. So that's good on them.
But the important thing is that Shanghai Dragons are doing better than them. And Florida Mayhem still is hopefully going to be getting that Shanghai Dragons hopefully will have more career wins than Florida Mayhem has season wins, hopefully.
I'm so ready for that.
The dream is still alive right now.
The dream is still alive. That being said, like Florida this stage, they gotten stomped by bad teams. They lost to Paris bad.
Yeah.
And they lost to Philly. But they also lost to good teams. They lost to Spitfire. They lost to New York Excel 4-0. They're really bad. I still think they're the worst in the league. We'll see if Washington actually pulls ahead. I hope they do.
I honestly do too. Just for nothing other than I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for no other reason than I started following them a little bit at the beginning of the season and then just completely dropped off from them. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, there was the GIF I sent you today of it was captioned Mayhem after taking first point from New York Excel on Paris. It was just this guy on like the balcony of a hotel just with a speaker like dancing, and then there's three people just like woo mosh pitting behind him, and it says Mayhem's 3 whole fans.
Aw, poor Mayhem.
They deserve it.
And then bottom of the barrel.
Washington Justice 19-04. They look bad. Probably stay down there. But 20 is Guangzhou Charge.
Oh no!
They have not won a map. They are 0-16 in their differential.
That's so brutal.
It's so brutal because I like the team.
It's
not like they played San Francisco Shock 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
Who's scheduling that? Granted, there's not as many games, so this is going to happen every once in a while, but
it's rare, and we shouldn't see a team go 0-16 on maps. That's awful.
Week 1, they like I said, they got 4-0'd by Shock, and they also got 4-0'd by Paris Eternal, who's looking much better this stage.
Yeah.
I'm happy because I thought Paris was going to be a good team coming in for stage 1, and I'm glad it's sort of coming together because they're getting their act together. They fired their coach. That's honestly one of the big factors here. And then week 2, they got 4-0'd again by Shock. And then 4-0'd by, who else did they get 4-0'd by? Los Angeles Gladiators.
Which,
so
those are 2 good teams.
They've had a really tough time early on, and I don't blame them. Like, Gladiators are a really solid team. They got their acts together. They were amazing last year. They're still really good this year.
Yeah.
And Paris has also gotten their act together. So, it's like, it sucks to be Guangzhou, but that shouldn't happen. Like, okay, so this week they're playing Hangzhou Spark, so I don't expect that to stay. And they're playing Atlanta Reign as well.
So yeah, they'll finally get a map this week. They'll
get a map this week. That I can say. They're not playing week 4 because that's Dallas's homestand. And then week 5 they're playing Houston Outlaws. They're going to get a win against. They're going to get a map on Outlaws.
Yeah.
Like they can win out.
Sure.
I fully believe this team can win out the rest of their games.
Yeah. Do you want to go over week 3 and do our predictions?
Yeah, let's go over week 3. So we already said Philly's going to get crushed by
Shock.
Toronto's going to get destroyed by Shock. Florida's going to get destroyed by Los Angeles Gladiators.
I'll put us both down for Florida. Yeah. Gladiators.
Game of the week for me is got to be the next game that's on Thursday, or technically Friday, but it's at midnight 15. Vancouver Titans, Dallas Fuel.
That's going to be a very good game.
What game of the week is a Dallas Fuel game? Who would have thought on our podcast that's literally based off the Dallas Fuel?
I mean, it will be a good game, of course. I'm going to take Titans, but it's going to be a good game.
I'll take Titans too. But I think it'll be extremely competitive, and it'll be a good game to see if Dallas is up to the task.
I think that Dallas is playing probably the best that they've played. Would you say that?
Yeah.
I think they're coming into their team very well right now.
Yeah. Definitely.
I could have seen us 4-0 in Paris, honestly. Even Taimu was like, I want to see this double 4-0.
Yeah, Taimu was just tweeting the entire game because he's obviously not playing because Taimu is dead. But
of course.
Taimu equals dead.
I'm going to go with Titans on this one.
It's going to be Titans, probably. But
it's going to be Titans. I'll throw you down for Titans as well.
Dallas is a pretty well-coached team.
For sure.
Dallas is a pretty well-coached team. But, Vancouver's getting really cocky right now.
Right.
So, Bumper's just playing every sort of DPS he wants at this point.
So
we'll see.
Styles on people.
We will see.
Friday.
What you're writing, talking about writing these down. We talked about our predictions for stage 1 or week 1. A couple weeks ago, and we were only, I don't know what our actual record came out to be on the ones we agreed with, but all 3 games we disagreed with, I lost.
Oh shit! I didn't notice that.
I was noticing that because both games in week 1, I had the Boston Uprising lose. And sure enough, they got reverse swept both games.
I was feeling up on the Boston last time I recorded, and I was like, yeah, let's go Boston.
To be fair, at the half, I would have looked smart because both of my teams were up 2-0.
Right. Yeah. And then
I knew I was cocky picking Washington over Toronto, but I still stand by that. Washington needs to get their act together, but Toronto also looks really bad.
Exactly. And that one was a very much I just went with the opposite one so that one of the bad teams were going to lose. So I just went with the opposite. I actually want to pull up
our records. I actually want to pull this up. We got New York, Philly, right? We got Glad, Shanghai, right? We got Paris, Guangzhou, right?
Nice.
We got London, Florida.
We got Toronto, right?
We got Shock, Valiant, right?
Nice.
We missed Seoul over Gladiators.
But that's pretty good so far.
It was a game 5. It was a game 5. So.
How about Philly? Did Philly win?
Yeah, Philly beat Florida.
Yeah, of course they did.
New York beat Shanghai. Paris. We had Paris over Chengdu. Paris got 4-0'd by Chengdu.
Oh, all right.
Absolutely ran over. But I stand by because Paris is looking good. Yeah, Shock absolutely. And
Shock,
then
of course.
Yeah, Shock destroyed Guangzhou 4-0. London beat Atlanta. Vancouver beat Hangzhou. Chengdu beat Washington.
So really, I only missed 2 on Monday. I only missed 2 calls on Monday.
You did.
Or on week 1, I mean. But yeah, I think we did pretty well with our week 1 predictions.
Yes. We only missed 2 of our consensus.
Yeah.
Then Friday,
damn good.
The first game on Friday is going to be my slaughter of the week. New York Excel is going to 4-0 Atlanta Reign.
Sure.
I've been extremely bad with my slaughters of the week, but I think it'll happen this time.
That one will be a slaughter.
They're very bad. I assume you're taking that as well.
Yeah, I took Reign for sure.
Okay. I was gonna say the next game is Philly Houston. And I'm like, did Houston even play the stage so far? They played 1 game and they're 0-1.
Oof. So I'm gonna take Philly for this one.
I think Philly's still better. And whatever, I think Houston is a pretty solid team still, but
I think we win the Duel of the West now for sure. The Texas Duel now. Absolutely.
Moon was just a solid main tank. I think they have a lot of good stuff going.
Yeah.
Next game is Valiant Justice.
Oh boy.
I don't want to take a side in this game, but
I don't either. I'm gonna go with Justice, I guess.
I'm gonna go with Valiant because I think their act has gotten together better.
All right, let's. That will be what our first. Our first differentiating one. Oh wait, sorry. You said Washington. You said Valiant.
I said Valiant because Valiant lost 4-0 against Shock, who's arguably the best team right now. And they lost a heartbreaker 2-1 in an extremely competitive game against the Gladiators, who are also one of the top teams right now.
Right.
And then they beat Atlanta Reign in a 3-2. Granted, Atlanta's bad, but I think Atlanta's better than Washington right now. And they played them and proved they are better. So I think I'll have Washington over, or I'll have Valiant over Washington.
All right. That'll be an interesting one to watch.
I think I'm right, but granted, you're 3-0 at this. So.
We'll see.
Who knows? The next game is Hangzhou Spark Guangzhou Charge on Friday, the midnight 15 game.
The Zhou gang.
This is a hard game for me to call because I really like Guangzhou and I think they can win this game. But man,
let's differentiate again, just for no other reason than differentiate, because I can see this game going either way. I think Hangzhou Spark's
gonna win because Hangzhou Spark is looking really solid right now.
All right,
to be honest.
I'm going Charge.
Really?
Why not? I'm calling it. They're going to get their first win of stage 2.
Because Hangzhou Spark actually looks pretty solid right now. They're getting their act together. Particularly Crystal is really popping off on the DPS slots. So I'll take Hangzhou Spark. Well, because Guangzhou is good at playing at these different comps, but at this point, you're still playing goats, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. So I like Guangzhou.
Right.
Next game.
Saturday starts off. Oh, wow. 420 launches with the dankest game.
Games. Oh, man. London Spitfire, Boston Uprising. London looks beautiful, but I have to go with London because I think they're really good, but...
I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to keep riding the Boston hype train for a little bit.
God damn it.
Until they disappoint me.
Because London figured out goats. London figured out how to play goats. Finally.
They finally figured it out.
And they look really good against Paris. They're currently ranked 5th, 3-0. I think they can continue it.
This next game might be my match of the week.
Shanghai. What, you get to see Shanghai Dragons destroy the Florida Mayhem?
Shanghai Dragons versus the Mayhem. The old bad versus the new bad.
Oh, man.
I'm going with Dragons.
I too am going with Dragons.
All right.
I really want it to happen because how many games have Shanghai won? They're 1-2 this stage. If they can win 2 more games this stage, they will be on pace to beat Florida Mayhem's record.
The dream is alive.
I actually want to check out the rest of the stage. Do I think that Florida Mayhem are going to win another game this stage? Because I think they're going to lose to Shanghai. They're not playing week 4 because that's the Dallas game. And then they're playing Dallas in the first game in week 5. Dallas is going to win.
Yep.
And I think that's it. That can't be it. Are they playing?
There's got to be more.
Are they playing the Dallas homestand? What? Are they only playing 5 games this stage? That can't be right.
Jesus.
Wait, no, they're playing 2 this week. I'm going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not winning another game this stage.
Oof. Well, the dream is alive.
The dream is alive.
We got this.
We got this. And then Dallas gets to play Seoul again.
I'm excited for this one. I'm gonna take Dallas over this one.
We'll take Dallas.
Yeah,
we beat them stage 1 like 3-1, 3-0, something like that.
We look damn good against them, and we're doing really well right now. And Seoul, Seoul's good right now, but they're not. I don't think they're better than us.
They're not as good right now.
Yeah, I don't think they're better than us right now, for sure.
Because they're 0-2 right now? Yeah, 0-2 right now, 3-6 map differential.
Yeah.
Give me Dallas.
So, go Dallas.
Yeah. Los Angeles Gladiators, Chengdu Hunters. Chengdu's so much fun to watch, but I still think that LA Gladiators are looking amazing right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep on riding that Gladiators hype train until it runs out.
You got to.
For sure.
Sunday is Vancouver Titans, Boston Uprising. Vancouver Titans.
That's a good game. That's a really good game.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop riding the Boston Uprising hype train and pick the right answer. Yes. Vancouver Titans.
Yes.
But that'll be a good game. That'll hopefully go to a game 5.
Honestly, one of my matches of the week is probably the next one. Houston Outlaws Shanghai Dragons.
Pretty evenly matched right now, I'd say. So that will be a slugfest.
They're both looking solid. I think Shanghai has gotten pretty well coached right now, but I still think Houston's going to win that game.
I'll take Dragons in that one.
Ooh, we're differing.
So we'll have a difference right there.
Next game, San Francisco Shock gets to beat the Hangzhou Spark.
Okay, they get to. Cool.
Yeah. Hangzhou looks better, but they're still only okay. Right. They looked bad last stage. Like,
Yeah.
not had communications issues. Not everything's working. And then the last game is Atlanta Reign versus the 016 Guangzhou Sharks.
Oh boy,
I don't know what to say.
it's gonna be not necessarily an absolute slaughter.
Yeah.
Or not a slaughter. It's gonna be just the absolute worst of the worst, just battling up against each other. The battle of the wait, hold on. What are we at right now for each of these teams? Defiant.
Atlanta Reign are 1-3. Currently 16th, bottom 5, and Guangzhou are the worst right now.
Yeah,
I'll take Guangzhou.
Okay, I'll go with Reign. We'll have a few differentiating ones this week.
Are the Atlanta Reign players coming back this week?
Oh, that's a good point. Oh shit.
If so, I'll take Atlanta Reign.
So we'll put an asterisk next to this one.
coming back? I'll still take Atlanta Reign. Give me Atlanta Reign.
All right, we'll both go Atlanta Reign.
Because they look better coming in. They look bad still, but I think I hate it because I like Guangzhou Charge. But...
Me too. It's another one of those teams that just has soft spot in my heart. You know, I just like them.
They're like Dallas last year.
For sure. Well, I'm going to have to cut this one short pretty soon, but really quickly, I would like to touch on something that we haven't touched on yet, that I've been very excited to touch on for the past few weeks.
Secure.
We right now are going to talk about Google's new Play platform.
Really? I thought I crossed
Sekiro.
that off out on the Google Doc.
No, we're going to talk about Sekiro.
Heck yeah.
So, have you played any of Sekiro yet?
No, I don't like I don't really play Dark Souls. It don't interest me.
You're not a Souls fan. Okay.
No.
I'm a massive Souls fan. I have been a Souls fan since Dark Souls 1. A little bit to give you backstory on my relationship with Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls 1. I stopped playing it for about a year because I just could not get through any of it. I hated it. I thought it was the worst game. I sold it. And then just a year later, I saw it for $5 and I was like, fuck it. I'm getting it again. I got it from a friend for $5. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
I sat down and poured 70 hours into one playthrough of that game, actively trying to beat the final boss. Like 70 hours, not of me dicking around, 70 hours of me trying to go through the game and progress to the point where I felt like I could beat the final boss.
Yeah.
And that is one of the most satisfying final boss kills I've ever experienced, was killing Lord Gwyn in the ending of Dark Souls 1. I got up, I threw my controller down, I screamed, and I ran all around the house because I was so goddamn excited for beating this one goddamn boss, and I was hooked.
Nice.
2 was mediocre compared to the other ones. 3 was good. Bloodborne is just an insanely good game. I'm a huge fan of Lovecraftian horrors. I'm a huge fan of Dark Souls. You slam those together and you get Bloodborne, and it's just a beautiful game. Sekiro took that all of that beautiful, the world building that they do for all the FromSoft games, the characters, the villain or the enemies, all of that. They took that and they cranked it up again. I have no idea how they managed to crank it up again, but they did it. This is the first game in their Souls series that they've finally taken a less of an RPG stance on it, I guess. You aren't creating your own character anymore. You're playing as Sekiro. You're playing as, he goes by Sekiro or the Wolf. You're playing as this character, and I think it's a good way for them to give you a good story. The story in this game is actually good. It is an exciting story. You feel a connection to your character because he's the same character as everyone else is playing. You get to build that character up as far as where the other games you are just nameless undead. You know, you are hunter, you are nameless undead. That's what you are. This time you are the wolf. You are a badass. And goddamn, I keep on seeing clips from this game where, you know, with most games, when they show gameplay footage of it and they kind of try and hype it up, and you know, they show your character punching a demon in the face, and you're like, wait, what button is going to be jump on this demon, grab him by the neck, and start beating his face in? What button is going to do that?
The big one for that impressed me was the Last of Us Part 2 gameplay. For sure. That was extremely seamless. I don't think that'll be possible. That'll be gameplay or not, but
a little more for Naughty Dog, but that's a big thing. Is all this cool stuff happens in the trailer, but there's no button for that. You know?
Yeah.
There's a button for every last cool thing you see in Sekiro.
Yeah. Like, that's from what I understood, is that your progression of, like, skill points actually gives you new abilities.
For sure, yeah. They do not hide a single thing about this game because they don't need to. They did a good job with the prosthetics. The prosthetics are kind of your customization of this game.
Yeah.
You lose your arm. Spoilers. It's in the first 15 minutes of the game. Unless you're shit, then it's the first hour of the game. You lose your arm in a fight, and you get a prosthetic fitted to you. That prosthetic gets fitted with other tools that you get to use in combat. They did a good job with making it so it's kind of like a rock paper scissors type thing, where certain enemies have certain weaknesses to certain prosthetics. But a lot of the strength of it came through upgrading your individual skills.
Okay.
One of the coolest goddamn skills that has ever been put in a game, when any enemy thrusts any weapon at you, if you dodge directly into it at the perfect time, you just kick that sword or spear into the ground, and then you just stab them right in the throat. It's so satisfying.
That's what I've understood. I don't know much about how this game actually plays besides a couple of the reviews or people talking about it I've heard, but I do know is that the big differential from this and previous From Software games is that in previous games you just dodge roll everything, but if you try dodge rolling here, you're going to die.
You are fucked.
But this game was all about parrying.
This game, so you've got a few different ways. I mean, you still have the kind of traditional dodging. It's not rolling anymore. It's more sidestepping, and that you do use that a lot. The deflecting is a massive thing in it. You really need to get good with your deflecting. You really need to get good with your... I'm forgetting what the move where you stomp the blade into the ground is called. Maybe Miraka counter or something. But, like, getting the... As you kind of unlock these new abilities and as you kind of figure out how to use them correctly in each fight, the fights just become what they were meant to be. You know, you really kind of get into the swing of things with these fights where all of them feel like you're playing them correctly, I guess.
Yeah.
And you get into these rhythms where you're like, I'm doing this so goddamn well. And it doesn't feel like they're forcing you into that. They're forcing you to kind of learn these patterns out. You just kind of naturally, over getting killed hundreds and hundreds of times to these bosses, you figure it out. And then you get into these, oh man, the really satisfying sword combat, it comes into play when you're just like, you're trading blows between two characters. And they do well with making the bosses not so crazy ridiculous anymore, that you can have these like really believable, I guess, sword fights with them. And all of it just feels good. The sound design in it is good. Every slice feels impactful. Every block feels impactful. I mean, even getting a perfectly timed deflect just gives you this nice, satisfying clang of your sword. Oh man, everything just makes you feel like a badass when you're playing this game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if the Arkham games make you feel like Batman, Sekiro makes you feel like a ninja, you know?
Yes.
Cannot suggest it enough. It's very quickly become my game of 2019 and will probably stay there for most of the year. I don't know of anything will knock it off that I know. I mean...
Well, if Star Wars Jedi Fallen Empire is going to come out in November, then I want to talk about the announcement trailers next week when we have more time.
For sure.
Because... It's by Respawn, and you bet your ass there's wall riding in that game.
They could have just showed the wall riding, and I would have been happy with that announcement trailer. But yeah, I'm gonna slap a big ol'... Until I beat the game, I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10. But goddamn, it is a good game. It's probably gonna be a 10 by the time I'm done with it.
I do got some little previews for the next couple weeks, depending on when I actually finish it or not. But I'm almost finishing up Skyrim right now. Nice. And I got 2 games on the docket to play right after. I ordered one today. I got one the other day.
What do you have?
They're 2 potentially early Game of the Year candidates. I still need to play them, though.
Nice.
The first of which is God of War PS4.
Yes, absolutely. You did mention this to me, and I'm very excited for you to...
I'm excited
we have to have your little... Each week, you have to give us an update, what you think
of course.
Okay.
And then... The probably the biggest candidate for Game of the Year 2019, the game I ordered today, is going to come between Friday and Wednesday this week. It's next week. It is Nintendogs, Dachshund and Friends.
Hell yeah. Game of the year 2019.
When did the game come out? 2006? Yeah, probably.
That works. Fine. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Can you pet the dog in that game?
Oh, we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. You let us know next week if we're gonna be able to pet the dog in that game.
Oh, no, I will. Hopefully, I ordered it today. Hopefully, it comes early on the Friday side of things. But
nice.
Oh,
Well, I mean, speaking of getting new things, and we've got this new event coming up.
Yeah.
Do you have any things you'd like to tell the listeners?
Well, we got
as
new
far
events.
as that goes.
New cosmetics are gonna come out. New skins.
New cosmetics. That's right.
You got to buy more archives loot boxes.
Buy more archive loot boxes. Absolutely.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Full Tank Podcast. This is episode 8. Goddamn.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
We're almost at 10.
Hell yeah. Thank you for joining us. We will be here next week, and then we may have another bye week just because I'm going to be moving.
Where are you moving?
I really don't know. I'm going to be finishing school, so we'll find out after that.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Soon TM.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you for joining us.
We'll see you.